She's decided it was the men's fault and moved on. She's got a list of requirements. You need to be financially stable, which means funding her retirement dreams. You need to be available for her schedule, her needs, her adult kids drama. You need to be understanding of her moods, her stress, her emotional baggage she has no intention of unpacking. And what's she bringing? Her presence, that's it. She exists, and you should be grateful for the opportunity to earn her attention. You're 65 years old, you've built a career, earned respect, proven your value, and you're supposed to audition for someone who's offering nothing but companionship in exchange for everything you've built. This is what's available if you choose to date again. A game where you compete endlessly for someone who's never satisfied, where you prove yourself over and over to someone who's always keeping her options open, where the prize is more of the same dynamics that exhausted you the first time. You look at this and you think, why would I do this? What am I gaining that's worth this indignity? And you can't come up with an answer. Here's something nobody tells you. Your testosterone declining isn't a curse, it's a gift. When you were 25, your biology made you stupid. Testosterone flooded your system and overrode your judgment. You'd see an attractive woman and your brain would do everything possible to rationalize pursuing her. You'd tolerate behavior you shouldn't tolerate, ignore red flags you shouldn't ignore, all because your chemistry was screaming at you to pursue. That override is gone now. Your testosterone has dropped, and suddenly you can see clearly. You can look at a woman and actually evaluate, is she pleasant? Is she reasonable? Does she add value to my life or extract it? Your brain does this calculation without your hormones hijacking the result. And what does your brain conclude? Not worth it. The companionship she offers doesn't compensate for the peace you'd lose. The physical intimacy doesn't justify the emotional exhaustion. The relationship doesn't improve your life enough to justify disrupting it. People act like something's wrong with you because you're not driven to pursue anymore. But nothing's wrong. You're finally thinking straight. You're making decisions based on logic instead of chemistry, reality instead of fantasy, what actually improves your life instead of what your hormones tell you you need. This is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to reach a point where you're not controlled by urges that don't serve your actual interests, where you can choose peace over sex, where you can prioritize your well-being over biology's demands. You've finally evolved past the programming that was making you act against your own best interests. After it ended, after the divorce, after she died, after you walked away, something happened. You started building something you didn't even realize you were creating. Peace. You wake up and the house is quiet. Not the tense silence of unspoken resentment, just quiet, peaceful. Your coffee, your morning, your schedule. No one's mood to manage before you've even opened your eyes. Your day belongs to you. Work if you're working, projects if you're retired. Whatever you decide matters. And when you come home, it's to the same piece you left. Your stuff is where you left it. No one's rearranged anything. No one's decided your space needs to be different. Your evening is yours. Cook what you want or don't cook at all. Watch what interests you with no negotiation. Call friends without someone getting territorial, or sit in complete silence. The time is yours. There's no compromise, no accommodation, no managing someone else's expectations. You started noticing things you couldn't see before. How much energy you have when you're not absorbing someone else's negativity. How much better you sleep when you're not worried about saying the wrong thing tomorrow. How much more patience you have with life when you're not spending it all on one person. You rediscovered hobbies you'd abandoned. Maybe you started working on your car again, or fishing, or just reading without interruption. Things that were taking time away from us suddenly became possible again. And you realized these things weren't luxuries. They were parts of yourself you'd sacrificed, parts you're not giving up again. You noticed your health improving, blood pressure down, stress down, sleep quality up. Turns out, chronic relationship stress was destroying your body. The doctors never told you that, but your body knew. And now that the source is gone, you're healing. Your money is yours. You spend it on what you value, tools, trips, hobbies, whatever. You're not funding someone else's lifestyle, not paying for experiences you don't want, not buying gifts for occasions you don't care about. Every dollar goes where you decide. Your weekends are yours. No obligations to anyone's family, no social events you hate, no honey-do lists, no projects that benefit someone else, just time. Pure, unscheduled, gloriously selfish time. You reconnected with friends, the guys who got phased out because she didn't like them. You started having conversations that weren't about relationship problems. You remembered what it felt like to laugh without wondering if you'd pay for it later. You fixed up your space exactly how you want it, not decorated. You're not trying to impress anyone, but functional, comfortable, serving you instead of